Hello there, it's Crafty Kim 62 here, and this is an event for February on Simply Craft and Swap, the Facebook swapping group. This is for one of the main events, and it is an altered Rubik's Cube. So I've got a couple of samples. I've already sent a couple of samples to the girls as presents, so they should know exactly what to do with having the one in front. So this is the red, because it's the theme of red for February, and this is a little, it's got feet on the bottom, it's decorated all the way around, decorated on one side and the top, so you've got space for two photographs so that you can swap around your photographs of your grandchildren or your children, and it's a nice handy thing to have on your work desk, on your desk at work, or your crafty work desk is what I meant. So that is one example, and this is a blue one, and it says hello friend. This one's a little bit more sparkly and more decorative, but again it's got spaces for photographs. And this one is a purple version, so it doesn't matter what version of the Rubik's Cubes that you've got. This one is a flat one, where the other ones are the ones with the bubbles on. So they are those, and they're quite readily available now. They are very, they were popular again a couple of years ago, and they're in our pound shops, and I'm sure they're in all over the place now. So that is that, and all I've done for quickness, and so you don't watch me dry it, is I've just covered it in black emulsion. And with the theme being red, I'm just going to move this out the way. This is the paper I've chosen. It's got butterflies and large red flowers and black leaves, so that is what I've decided to use for this demonstration. So as I've previously done, I'm just going to do a little bit of colour to the sides. I don't want the harsh blackness going through, so I'm just going to pick up some paint on the sponge, and I'm just going to lightly cover all of the edges with the paint. So just go around all the sides. Remember, it's going to be covered, you only need the edges doing, because it is going to be covered with the papers and the feet. So just pick up a little bit more just from the sides and do all the way around. Just check that I've done every bit. Yes, I think I've done all of the sides now. Yes, and that'll be dry in no time, so I'll just pop that on there. Now I'm not going to do any big measurements or anything like that. I'm just going to do it by eye, because I want to choose the patterns that I want, and there's a nice butterfly on this side, so I'm just going to choose the butterfly. I'm going to draw around and then just simply cut out, obviously in a straighter line, but I'm going inside of the pencil mark because I want some of the black and the red that I've just done. So I've just cut out that one with the butterfly, and it's just going to see, so it needs trimming all the way around. So I'm just going to trim a smidgen off each end. You can do this by eye, and I'm happy with that. So whatever's left on the sponge, I'm just going to take those white edges away. And for this, I'll be using my glossy accents, that is quick grab. Twiddle it in the corners. And what I should have done is make a template. So decide which way it goes on. So I'm happy with that. So I'll decide where the next one's going to go. So there's a nice big flower, but I also like this little flower here. So I think I'm just going to draw around. Again, inside the pencil mark because I want it so again trim it, keeping the pattern that I want, check it, a little bit more off there. And I'm going to use this one as my template. So yes, I think I'll just, so I can see, just going to offer that around. And I'm going to cut them out one by one so I can see what happens. Sorry if I'm off screen, but I'm just cutting out squares of paper at the moment, so it's not very interesting. So just trim to the pencil line. Let's see, where should we go from there? Oh, there's, I quite like that one. You can use plain paper, you can mat and layer, and you can do it that way. Oh, there's another butterfly, so I'm just going to get that butterfly in. Quite like that section there as well. Just have to remind myself of how many pieces we need, and of course we need 8 because it's a cube. So one more. I think I have this pretty one over here. Bear with me one moment, and I will just cut these out roughly and then smarten them up. Move that away for now. Production line. Sorry, my hands are not so good. I can't just get these out of the way. So we've got all of our pieces there with all of the designs, and this one was the one that was okay, so I'm just going to add glue, glossy accents, because it's a nice quick grab. And forgot to do that on that one, but it doesn't matter, because that one can be where I put all of the flowers on. So there's just enough left on the sponge to go around. And you can distress them if you wish. You can add, as I say, mat and layers, a plain on the back, you can put a pattern on the back and then a plain on the front. That's got just got to now this is the last one. So next one. Doesn't matter which way you get them round, because you've made them a little bit more abstract now. So I'm not going to put the butterfly beside a butterfly. I'll put that on the total opposite side. So again, silly me, it's 6 sides. So which one should I think we'll have this one? I've got 2 ready for another one. I actually love doing these. They're so perfect for sitting on a desktop. They don't take up much space and you can add your photographs on. So the next thing, just make sure that it's all stuck down. Just going to stick this edge. And then I put together various bits and bobs for the decoration. As you see there, I've done roses and all of the bits there, so I've pulled together a box of things. Now you're going to decide which is going to be your bottom. So if you want for where it's going to stand, so the butterflies are up that way, so I'm going to make this one my bottom one. So I'm not going to do anything with that one yet, and as I say, I put feet on that one so it can stand nice and not damage anything if you're going to have it on somewhere precious like a unit or a sideboard, something like that. So then the hot glue is on. Now I was going to, this is an orchid, and I thought that could be quite precious on the top and then build around. So there's, with keeping in a theme with the paper, I'll try to straighten that, so I think I'll put something else on there for his antennae and possibly put a butterfly on and some coordinating flowers and a feather. So you just need to build up what you like to do so that when you change it around it's still got a focal point. So I am going to use that as my main focal point. So I'm just going to put that on with some hot glue. So I'm going to do it from that corner there. So I'll just squish it down. I'll pull off the strings when I'm finished. I'll blast it with the heat tool. So that is the first thing on. And then to hide all of the gubbins there, I've got some bigger and matching colours of flowers, so I can make an arrangement flowing down, and then I'll add some smaller ones of the similar colour in there as well. So if you just bear with me, I will just continue. Sticking the flowers on. use a blunt pair of scissors for anything that's too big, so I can tuck things in. I don't like that leaf, so I'm going to click that leaf off. Push it in. Then have another one coming down. It looks all the same colour at the moment, but I will be adding other colours in between to make it more special. So I'm going from one corner to another corner. Put these ones down. So I think the little ones will fit in the further down we get. Put that one in there. And even though that green's showing, it's going to have a bit of white and a bit of a different colour of the burgundy flowers within there. So this is just to fill the spaces of the main colour core that is there. Even though it's not exactly red, it's a theme of red, so your interpretation of the red is what you want it to be. So my papers had reds and burgundies and pinks and blacks, so I chose the paper first and then decided what colours to put on, and then collected all of my bits and bobs to go onto it. Right, so that's the basis of it done. It's all in one colourway at the moment, but now that I'll just put these away in the bag out of the way, and you'll see I've got some smaller ones that are on wires, and these are on wires as well, so I'm not going to waste the wires, and I'm just straightening those using my pokey tool, wrapping it around and then making a curl. So although that is going to be there, we still have a nice curl coming out. So I'm going to use the leaf as my base, and that's going to go there. Just hold on to it for a moment. With the flowers being on wire, you can then, so I'm going to start and add a white one to do the contrast of colour. So a little white one in there, and I've got some pretty little pink ones I'm not going to use. So I'm going to bend that back so I've got a flat base. Oops, need a glue stick. I do go through an awful lot of glue sticks. When they're all melted, I bet you I go through gallons and gallons of it. So that's a nice pink to contrast. Again, there's another one. And I've got another couple here to contrast as well. Just going to cut off a little bit more of that base, keeping enough to keep the flower together. Putting enough glue on to push into a space. Just hold on to it for a moment. I'm just going to snip that raggedy end off. And here's another one of the cherry blossoms. I do like cherry blossoms. Again, putting it on the side, pushing it in, just holding it for a few moments. Then I have some of these little doodads. Got little tiny white beads on them. They're very cute, and they're a great filler-innerer, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to put some on the end, tuck it in here, push it in, hold it for a few seconds. So that's that side building up quite nicely. So I'll just move over onto this side down here. I want these, the two butterflies, I'm going to keep for the photographs, but I'm just going to continue down this side now with the different colours. I'm just going to take a bit off there, glue stick, in further down, and just pop that in there. People often ask where I get my flowers from, and I get them from all over the place. Sometimes you're quite lucky when you go into a shop and they have, you know, bunches, bouquets of flowers, artificial flowers, and some of them are really quite nice. They're not cheap and nasty looking. They're quite, you know, the fabric, they are silk flowers, and you can get them at reasonable prices. And at the end of season time's quite a good time, because you know you have your yellows and your oranges at the springtime, and then they move over onto your pinks and your more summery colours, and then you go to your reds and what have you for your Christmas colours. I'm going to put those on a little bit later. This one's quite a big one, so I'm going to tuck this one in now, and then I can build the flowers around it. So I'm going to stuff that one right in there, hold it down for a second, and I think I'm going to put these ones not as a full bouquet. I'm just going to pull them apart, give them a little bit of a twist, chop them down a bit. Those underneath there. It's handy when you put the big ones on first, because the bigger petals and leaves, you can tuck the smaller ones underneath, and you can hide all of the sticky stuff that you've used. So that's looking quite nice at the moment. I think I need some more of this one down there. I'm just going to cut off one, because that way if you get bunches, remember you can break them up. You don't have to keep them all together. You can break them up and do whatever you want with them. I'm just going to cut these ones off singularly, and that one has quite a nice berry feel to it. So I'll just cut all of the gubbins off. As the leaf comes off, but if the leaf comes off, don't worry about it. Remember, you've got hot glue, so you can just place it back on. Make your little feature. Whoops, stuck to my finger rather than the glue. I'll just pop that back together again. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Let's see where that's going to go. I think that's going to go there. I'm just going to tuck that underneath. Hold it down. I think that's all I need for that. Got a couple of leaves off another flower. That's a bit big, so I'm just going to trim it down. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath there. Just use my pokey tool, because that was quite thin silk material and I didn't want to get burnt, so I'm just going to add a little bit on there again. Use my pokey tool, and that's got a basis. So one of those little baby flowers. Just going to get that between my fingernails, and I'm just going to add that one there. Get rid of those strings. Cut away that, I don't want that. And I think that's quite nice for that side and the top. So I don't think it wants anything else but sparkles. So these are some sparkles. You thread your bead through with very thin wire, and then you twist and twist. You come up through another bead, and then you twist and twist. Come down again, add another one and twist, and then you twist it all together until how you want it. So I wanted a bit more together, so I'll just twist away until yes, so I'm just going to, and then make a big, see if I've got an opening. Yes, so I'm going to put it in there. So a little bit on the end, squish it down, close it up, and then open it up once it's in. So that's not going to go anywhere. So that just gives a little bit of sparkle there. And again with this one, I'm just going to, I'm just going to put them all together, snip it down a bit. Put a bit on there, and I'm just going to poke it through that one there, and then put the beads where they've got some show in the sparkle and the light. So yes, I'm quite happy with that one. The only thing that I'm going to do now is I've got some Dovecraft glitter glue, and this one is iridescent, but it's once it's dry, it becomes the colour of the flower that you've put it on. So I'm just going to highlight as if it's dew on the corners, and then I'm just going to spread it out because I don't want big blobs. One fine little, so if you blob it around and then take it off, you get delicate coverage. If there's anything left on your fingers, you can just stroke your flowers, and that's that. So I'll just put that on there so you can see, and I'll just get some feet. And the feet, I get mine from the well-known pound shop, and you get a pack of various things, and you see I use them for coasters and lots of other things. So on this one I think I'm just going to put one big one. I'm just going to put that, making sure that that is my bottom. So I've just put that in the centre, squish it down, and that's it all finished. I don't think I'll put the feather on. I think I'll just leave it as it is. I'll just tidy these away and I'll show you the finished item. What? I think it will. Sorry, once you I always find something else to put somewhere else. So, excuse the funny shape of this, it's my last bottle, so I'm keeping it upside down and squish it together. So it is I've still got, because there's still plenty in there. So this is the finished item. So it's got the orchid on the top, the paper all the way around. It's got a nice foot for it to be secure and doesn't damage anything, and then it's got a line from one corner to the top of flowers cascading down the side, and that is that. I do hope you like the before and the after and everything in between. Many thanks for watching. Crafty Kim saying goodbye. Goodbye.